There's been another big escalation in the West Asia war. Reports now coming in of explosions heard in Qatar's capital, Doha. Reports that Iran has hit US bases in Qatar. Reports that Iran's missile launchers are ready. Qatar has closed its airspace over this Iranian threat. Air defense systems activated in US al-assad Air Base in Iraq for fear of a potential attack as well. There has been a credible Iranian threat against the US-run Udeid Air Base in Qatar since noon on Monday. But the visuals we are getting is clearly Doha, Qatar, from where we are getting reports that there's been another big escalation with Iran targeting US bases in and around Doha. That's the news we're getting. Explosions being heard in the Qatar capital of Doha. Pranay Upadhyay now joins me. Geeta Mohan, our diplomatic editor, also joins me. Both of Pranay and Geeta cover and track international affairs for us. Appreciate both of you joining us. Pranay, to you first. What are you picking up about this latest reports of explosions being heard in Qatar's capital, Doha, and Qatar's airbase being closed?
You're absolutely right, Rajdeep. Around 6 missiles have been fired by Iran in the Qatar airspace. There is intense air activity in Doha, especially the anti-missile guns are being deployed, and there is a lot of air activity in that region. The airspace, as you rightly reported, the airspace of Doha has already been closed by the Qatari authorities, and the air defense mechanism is activated, and they are trying to engage the incoming missiles. But this is certainly a big escalation, because now this war is not being restricted to between Iran and Israel, and this has entered a third country after the entry of the United States. As you mentioned, Al-Udeid Air Base is an important base of United States in Qatar, and you would recall, Rajdeep, that recently when President Donald Trump, during his Middle East tour, he went to Qatar, he went to this air base, and he addressed the US troops as well. So clearly a big time escalation. Also, we are picking up that there is a lot of activity in the Iraqi airspace as well, because there are reports that there could be a possible attack on al-Assad Air Base of the US Air Force and US Marines there in Iraq as well, and that can also become a target. So US operates around over 12 air bases and important military bases in the West Asia region, and if they are being targeted, then definitely it is going to be a big escalation. We can expect another round of airstrike if United States decides to join. And this has happened at a time, Rajdeep, when at around 10:30 p.m. today India time, President Donald Trump is likely to have a White House meeting with his national security team, and he has called a meeting for the assessment of the national security situation as well as the West Asia situation. Back to you, Rajdeep.
Okay. Clearly, of course, bringing in Qatar brings another dimension to this. The fact is that Qatar and Iran have had a difficult relationship in the past, but clearly at the moment with these strikes, it drags in other potential Arab states into this conflict. Geeta Mohan, our diplomatic affairs editor, will be joining us shortly. Pranay, we're also told that Qatar has closed its airspace. So clearly Qatar becomes very, very vulnerable given the past history between these two countries. Donald Trump was in Qatar just a few days ago, and all of this a few weeks ago, and all of this comes against that backdrop of that deal between the US and Qatar. Geeta Mohan joins me at the moment. Geeta, what are you picking up?
Well, this is a serious escalation. Rajdeep, we were discussing earlier what could Iran's response be, and I was speaking to a journalist very close to the administration, Ilham, in Tehran, and she said that US military bases will come under attack, and it does seem like the 2-day notice that most of the intelligence agencies in the United States of America, speaking to media in the US, were saying that in about a day or two there is going to be an Iranian response. That Iranian response has now taken place. What we're given to understand right now is that air defense systems have been activated in the US and al-Assad Air Base. And also the fact that there is an alert, everybody's closely monitoring, not just Qatar, but also the UAE, very, very closely monitoring the situation on the ground. There are reports that are suggesting that Iran has positioned missile launches for attack on US forces. These are reports that are coming in from various sources, Rajdeep. So a confirmation on how many missiles have been launched or have they been launched, although we're showing visuals, are yet to be confirmed through
Right.
credible sources. These are just media reports that are coming in. Visuals also coming in from various unconfirmed sources for now. But yes, the potential threat was on Qatar, the US air base in Qatar. US has air bases across West Asia, that is the Middle East, and Qatar air base, which is the one that you just spoke of, where President Donald Trump had gone visiting, showing solidarity and showing strength, certainly is one of the most important air bases. So expect Iran to respond and retaliate. Again, you know, we should be playing out what Ilham Abedini said, where she very clearly says that just attacking or retaliating or responding to Israel by or America by attacking Israel is not good enough. That there is going to be a response on the or against the military bases that US has in the Middle East, and that in all probability is what we are now seeing as a response from Iran. Will they be intercepted? Most certainly. Most of the missiles would be intercepted. There is a long way from Iran to any of the air bases that the United States of America has, and countries in the middle work as interceptors too. There are defense systems that work in those air bases as well, but even launching a missile attack against a US airbase is serious escalation. This does mean that there is going to be a response from America.
It's not the first time, though, that this has happened. You will recall in 2020 it happened.
Absolutely.
As long as US does not suffer human damage at the moment, that is one that will take it to another level. Moment American citizens are killed in any of these attacks, that would drag America right square bang on into the conflict if it wasn't